Alright, what's up guys? I'm back with a new video. I'm out in the town right now. It's a really nice day outside. So I figured, per the vibe of my last few videos, I'd do something on the go, just natural, because I feel like that's more my style these days. Welcome back. Obviously, if you're new to the channel, I do mainly lifestyle content, but I also like to talk about things that I'm interested in. I'll do wellness and whatever, is on my mind at that current point in time. So today's video is I want to share with you guys the biggest lesson that I've learned at 23, or my 23 years of living, that I think would be very helpful to anyone listening, anyone just looking for advice on what to do with their life these days. So I want to say the biggest lesson that I've learned at 23 is just intentionality, and more specifically living life and making decisions intentionally. One of the advantages to being young, and one of the advantages to, honestly, I want to say to most young people in their life, whether you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, even 40s to an extent, is time. We're alive. People are alive for a relatively long time, assuming you live to 60, 70, 80, 90, or you live to 100, honestly, you're lucky, but we're alive for a relatively long time, so we really get to spend that time doing whatever it is we want, gathering new experiences, learning new things, figuring out who you want to be as a person. Some mad paramedics out today. That's what you get when you live in a city, though. Yeah, so honestly, time is the biggest asset, and it's the biggest advantage, but it can also be the biggest detriment, if you're not being intentional with the decisions that you make, if you're not planning out and being meticulous with how you live your day-to-day, if you're kind of just going through the motions, or if you're just wasting time, then obviously you can't use that abundance of time to your advantage. Intentionality is, I think, really important, but not only intentionality, how we go about intentionality. So how can you, plan out your day? How can you plan out your life so that you're moving with a sense of direction, you're living it with a sense of purpose? Because the worst, like I just said, the worst thing and the worst detriment to anybody is lack of direction, lack of purpose. You end up just wasting a lot of time, and once time is gone, you cannot get that time back, right? In terms of making use of that time, I had a conversation with my girlfriend yesterday, and she told me, think about the type of person that you want to be. In a lot of self-help videos, or a lot of videos on self-improvement in that space, there's such a big emphasis on reverse engineering your life. And normally people talk about that in the context of money and in the context of material items, but I think it's also good just to think about what type of person do you want to be, personality-wise, holistically, and what does that person look like? Are you a person that's disciplined, or are you a person that's creative? When you start laying down the foundation and creating a plan for yourself, it's easier to then make decisions according to that plan. We talk about reverse engineering your life, or living life with intentionality. If you decide for yourself that you want to be X, Y, and Z, you want to be a person that's maybe disciplined, that goes to the gym 3-4 times a week, relatively successful with their career, and has a place to live, has a place to take care of themselves, you then have to ask yourself, okay, what does that look like, and what decisions can I make so that I get to that point, so that I can become that person that I see for myself. Obviously, once you've created an image, or once you've created a goal for yourself, a big target for yourself, you can start to zone in. You can start to say, okay, I want to be someone that's happy with their career. I want to be someone that's fulfilled in their career. I want a career where I feel important. And you would say, okay, what are some careers that I feel important at? And you might go through the list, and then you might start to ask yourself, okay, what's the pathway that I can take to get to that career? What's the pathway that I can take to get to the thing I want? If your goal, for example, is I want to own a house, and let's say you're not really thinking about your career, you just want a house, then you would tell yourself, okay, what's the best way that I can go about getting a house? I'd have to get a job, I'd have to save, and then you look at all the possible jobs that you can do. So the point is, best way to utilize having a lot of time is to just be intentional. It's just plan, and obviously execute on the plan that you're given. And when you're able to create a plan, when you're able to live life with intention, you're able to be a lot more accurately, and you're able to be a lot more decisive when it comes to just how you live your life, when it comes to the day-to-day. And I think that can be such a blessing, because someone that knows what they're doing and they know where they're going and they know how they want to live their life is a lot more prepared than someone who's living their life a lot more spontaneously. And that's not to say that living life spontaneously isn't a bad thing, and if that's your prerogative, then that's your prerogative. But I will say that when you are living your life very spontaneous and not having a plan, you know, you fall victim to just going anywhere and ending up anywhere. Sometimes that could mean ending up in a position you don't like, ending up in situations you don't like. That could be very detrimental to you. It wouldn't be very conducive to operating at peak mental, being at an all-time high emotionally, etc., etc., etc. So the biggest lesson, just to double back, that I can instill in you guys today is just live life intentionally, create a plan, execute on it. It doesn't even be like, the thing with making a plan is decide for yourself what it is you want. It doesn't have to be some extravagant, super ambitious plan. A plan just needs to be a plan, and you stick with it. I watch a lot of psychology podcasts, and the biggest thing that they talk about when setting plans is it doesn't need to be very specific. It doesn't even need to look pretty, but you just need to have a general target. You just need to have something you can aim for. And then once you have something you can aim for, you can adjust accordingly. So again, it doesn't need to be, I live in a big mansion in the most expensive city in the world. It just needs to be, maybe you want a place to live. Maybe you want decent money. If you have a specific plan, obviously that's great for you. But having a plan is better than no plan. And really, that's the entire theme of this video. That's the entire topic of this video. It's just living life intentionally, trying your best not to wander through life, because when you wander through life, you have the potential to end up anywhere, and you might not be happy with that result. So if you can control your direction and you can control what it is you want for yourself, you are that much more equipped to control where you end up in life, and in my opinion, be more satisfied with life. So you guys already know, if you like that video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I post regularly on lifestyle content, but generally anything that I'm interested in, any type of wellness content, any type of fitness content. So if you guys did enjoy that video, subscribe.